Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Jared here with another song review. This one's going to be on Monsters by Guns N' Roses. Now, my last video was a review on The General by Guns N' Roses, and this was a surprise song that kind of came with The General. So, let me get a little history on Monsters, and I can't really give too much history because, like I said, this is a surprise, and no one's really heard this one before. But what I can say is pretty much the first time I really heard of this song would be about 5 days before the Perhaps vinyl was scheduled to be shipped to everybody, and it was on October 22nd. Around that time, um, pretty much everyone was getting excited for the Perhaps vinyl to be released because the General was on the B side. Now, around October 22nd, some news surfaced online that some songwriting credits were, just kind of rumored to be on there, talking about not only the General, but the General and Monsters. Now, people weren't sure if it was the same song, the General, and that maybe it had an alternate title, or maybe it was like the new title, or what, or maybe maybe Monsters was a brand new song or something with it, but nobody was really sure. But they saw that there were some songwriting credits for the General and Monsters. Now, on October 26th, the day before the Perhaps vinyl with the General on the B side was supposed to be shipped to everybody, it ended up getting postponed until December 8th, and people were really upset and disappointed by that and everything. But about halfway through October 27th, the General and Monsters both leaked online. They both surfaced online. As of recording this video, they're still on YouTube, which is absolutely shocking. You would think they would get taken down immediately with the algorithm and not having the song rights and everything, but they're actually two completely different songs. The General is one song, and then Monsters is another. And everybody was super hyped for the General, this epic song that people have been waiting over a decade for. Diehards, this is like the holy grail of Chinese democracy and everything. And Monsters is kind of just like a bonus. What's this new song that no one's ever heard of? And I was thinking to myself, like, what could this be? And I was thinking, this has to be like Soul Monster, aka Me and My Elvis, aka Me and My Elvis and the Monster of Soul and all that shit. Um, Pretty much, I did a review on Soul Monster, which is a Guns N' Roses song that has not been released yet, but the instrumental demo did leak a few years back, and I really liked that instrumental demo. So I was thinking to myself, like, oh, this is fucking awesome, because this has to be Soul Monster. We're talking around Halloween and everything. Monsters, let's talk about what my thoughts are on this song. Now, let's see here. It starts off with, I would say, Axl's voice, and it sounds very Scott Weiland-esque. Now let's talk about the synthesizers and instrumentation and the background of this song. Now this is what was interesting to me, is I thought it actually sounded like similar to the General. And what I mean by that is, in the 2000s, they used to play the intro for the General before some of the Guns N' Roses concerts, actually a lot of them. And this long intro was always thought to be the intro for the General. And now, after listening to the General, I definitely hear some of that in the song, but it's not like this long intro before the General. I think it's either like throughout the whole background of the song, or they just took bits and pieces of that intro from the 2000s and put it in the General. But some of those bits and pieces are in Monsters now, in my opinion. It definitely sounds like, bits and pieces of that General intro from the 2000s here in Monsters, which give it a very Chinese democracy feel as far as that goes. But everything else, I would say, nothing else about this song gives me a Chinese democracy feel, to be honest. That's the only thing. Axl's vocals and Slash's guitar give me really 1970s vibes. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but I really got a 1970s vibe. Like the whole time listening to this, I've listened to it numerous times. It kind of reminds me of like almost like Rocky Mountain Way by Joe Walsh or something, but just a very, very classic vibe. It does not, like I said, it doesn't. Besides that synth and the the instrumental bits in the background, sometimes everything sounds very classic GNR to me. It doesn't sound like Chinese Democracy. Um, which is, I like it. Don't get me wrong, I definitely like it. I'm a diehard Guns N' Roses fan, and I'm a huge Chinese Democracy fan. But this definitely gives me classic Guns N' Roses vibes. Let's see here. I'd say Axl's vocals, and I said this about the General too. I think they're from the 2000s. I don't think they're brand new vocals or anything like that. They definitely give me 2000s vibes as far as his vocals go. Slash's guitar tone is different than it was in the General, and I keep comparing it to the General because these songs were both leaked at the same exact time, and they're like really side by side right now when it comes to analysis and people playing it and stuff. But Slash's guitar tone in the General, I felt like was very wah wah distorted, which isn't a bad thing. Reminded me of like Velvet Revolver, Messages, something like that. But on this one, it's very classic. It's like his really classic guitar tone. You can just 100% tell it's Slash, just his normal guitar tone. Let's see here. At one point in the song, it kind of breaks down leading into an Axl run. Now, this Axl run made me so hyped because he kind of just like the song just stops and then Axl just goes on this like rant basically, and he is screaming and he sounds angry, but he goes on this like this long run where he is just like really just getting like a solo spot, and man, he sounds so angry and mean, but it sounds so good. Like his vocals sound amazing. It gave me goosebumps. It made me red. I was like blown away by it. And this part reminds me of the General cell phone clip. Now, the General cell phone clip, if you don't know, is a little clip of somebody at this party from like around 2006. Axl actually played the General for a lot of people. And in this clip, you can hear the General. Who knows if it was actually Monsters or the General, but everyone for over a decade thought this cell phone clip was of the General, and it's hard to hear. It's not a very good clip at all, but this run is definitely what I hear in that cell phone clip, at least for a few seconds or so. And it makes me wonder, like, are the General and Monsters, like, are they both like really connected? Like, was Axl like, was he really going back and forth with like putting this part here and this part there, and he ended up just making 2 songs out of it? Who the fuck knows? But this run that he did in Monsters absolutely blew me away. It kind of reminded me of like yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen Straight Outta Compton, but I just loved it when they were in the recording booth and they were just like doing take after take after take, and it's like you knew when they did that perfect take, like that was just a flawless take. And I don't know if he did this run in one take, but either way, I'm gonna tell myself that he did because it sounds fucking amazing. And I just feel like especially if he did do it in one take, like I bet the people behind the booth, like the producer, was just like, whoa, like holy shit, like he just nailed that shit. But there's not a lot of room to take breaths in that run, but out of the whole General and Monsters leaks that just came out, tonight or today, I would say this run in Monsters that Axl did was my absolute favorite thing out of everything that I've heard. I'm just still blown away. It's just incredible to hear. So let's see here. So then the end of the song is just kind of a very chill, just continuing, kind of just repeating some of the same lines in Axl, and Slash doing like some solo stuff and whatnot. I would say besides the Axl run, that's very angry and harsh, but good, I would say for the most part, the song is chill. It's very like just chill and classic. And, that's kind of just how it fades out. It kind of just fades out into, just a chill and, classic vibe. And so I would say my overall thoughts, I like this song better than the General, and I don't foresee that changing. I wasn't a huge fan of the General after numerous listens, and of course it didn't live up to the hype. You don't expect it to, honestly. If you're after all the years that they hyped it up, and it's just this you know, this whole thing of a song, you just knew it wasn't going to live up to the hype. So I would say Monsters really surprised me. I think it's a good song, and I can see it growing on me. I know after listening to it just one or two times, it got stuck in my head, and definitely was better than the General, to be honest with you. And just a really pleasant surprise. And I have no idea like how they're gonna release this. I'm glad that it leaked, and I'm glad it's not like, I'm glad it's a nice MP3. It's a nice digital file and everything. But I don't really know like how exactly they're going to release this. If it's going to be a single or what. I mean, it's just yeah, it's just kind of, we're kind of in the unknown right now as far as Monsters go. It's just a great time to be a GNR fan these last few months with Perhaps coming out and some of the set list changes, and now we're getting the General, and now we're getting Monsters. There's rumors Atlas Shrugged might come out in November. Who the fuck knows? If I had to choose, I would like to upload this video before the General, but once again, the hype around the General, you have to upload the General first, even though I think Monsters is a better song. I was talking to one of my, Guns N' Roses friends who always, gives me the hookup and everything, and they were kind of saying the same thing. They didn't say a word about the General, but they said Monsters is good. So that was, I agreed with that. I thought Monsters was good, and it definitely has some heavy and dark parts, but overall, just a chill classic song. And I'm glad that this stuff's coming out. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all can listen. Please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.